recording.
Hello and welcome back to Her Becoming. I am your host, Kayla Countryman, and today I have a little bit of a different episode for you. This episode is actually completely impromptu. I am going to be recording by myself. It's just me and you today, a topic that has been on my heart heavily these last few days, and something that I know so many women out there are going to be able to benefit from and learn from today. So if it is your first time joining us, thank you for being here. You're coming at a perfect time. I hope and I encourage you to go check out all of the other episodes before this one as well. But if this episode found you today, there's a reason for that. That is intentional. It is not random. So I really hope you enjoy. A little bit about me and Her Becoming. This podcast is really meant to serve as a personal development and wellness resource for women in helping you become the person that you were sent here to be. That means that we explore topics from mindset and psychology to holistic health and wellness and fitness, all the way to purpose and building a brand and starting a business, and really looking at your life through a holistic lens to help you identify how you can close the gap between the woman you are today and the woman that you want to be. Well, when I started this podcast, my life looked a lot different than it looks today. I started this podcast in February. I was about 2 months away from getting married. I was very much a fiance. And then after I recorded and released about 7 episodes, so less than 2 months later, my life completely blew up. I called off my wedding in March, just 19 days before I was set to get married. I ended an almost 9-year relationship, and I embarked on a journey of being single for the first time in a really long time. And today is really a reflection because this episode is coming to you on October 14th. And October 11th marks 6 months since what was supposed to be my wedding day. And it feels like such an important milestone for me to look at these last 6 months and see not only how far I have come, but how much I have learned, how much I have been impacted by my circumstance and my life and the way the tables turned, but also how much self-discovery and how much healing and how many lessons I have held on to and really taken in these last 6 months. So today is really for anyone that is going through a difficult time, whether that is a change in your relationship status or a change in your job status or just evolving in a very difficult season. My hope with you today is that you see it gets better. You will make it to the other side, and there is a reason that you are going through what you are going through or what you have gone through in the past. Okay, so question of the day, how am I really doing? 6 months since my life blew up, 6 months since I canceled my entire wedding that was completely planned, 6 months since I exited a almost 9-year relationship at the age of 29, meaning I was with this person for essentially my entire 20s. How am I doing? The honest answer is I feel really freaking good. It's kind of crazy because it feels like it's been so much longer than 6 months. I can't believe that I have been existing as this single post breakup version of myself for only 6 months because I am so comfortable in this identity. It feels so natural to me. It feels like home to me. And what I've really realized in these last 6 months is how powerful our brains are. My brain has completely rewired into my new reality. After going through that breakup, this is why going no contact is so important, by the way. When we broke up, I ended it. There was no lingering, no lurking, no contact, no nothing. And that was crucial for me in my healing journey because for the last 6 months, my brain has been able to create new neural pathways. We always talk about neural pathways and neuroscience on this podcast, and there's a reason because our thoughts and our beliefs create our reality. So the quicker I was able to cut off a person who had caused me so much harm, the quicker my brain was able to adapt to a new reality and create new routines and create new patterns and start to co-create with God the life that I am actually meant to live. And I've never gone into detail on this podcast what actually happened. I don't know that I ever will. Maybe one day I'll write a book and spill all. Right now, that doesn't feel really important to me. I'm really focused on the healing and my own self-discovery, not what this other person did to cause this catastrophic event. But what I can tell you is you probably have your suspicions, your speculations about what may have happened. 10x that. Add a lot of trauma, add a lot of betrayal, add a lot of lying, just add a lot of terrible things, and then maybe you will be sort of close to what happened. It was awful. I had to make a really difficult decision that changed the trajectory of my entire life because of the pain that someone else's actions continued to cause me. And because of the magnitude of this person's inability to meet me where I needed to be met, to respect me, to nurture me, to support me, complete inability to do so. And I had to make the difficult decision to walk away and start over. And I'm sitting here 6 months later. Like I said, my brain has completely rewired, and I am so satisfied with my new reality. I am so at peace with the life that I get to live. I feel so blessed, you guys. I feel so grateful to be able to have another chance to find the person that is really for me, to find the person that will build me up and will be able to meet me emotionally, spiritually, mentally, where I actually am. I feel so grateful to have been given another life. It feels like I'm a cat with another life, truly, when you go through something that catastrophic and get the rug pulled completely from under you. I feel like my life began again. And at first, it was the scariest thing that I had ever been through. And now it is the best thing that has ever happened to me. I really think it's remarkable how adaptable humans are. This is just scientific. This is true for us as beings. We are adaptable. When our environment changes significantly, we catch on. Mind, body, and spirit catch on. So going through a breakup, if you're someone out there that you're going through a breakup right now, or maybe you're in a relationship that you know isn't for you, but the impending doom of going through heartbreak is causing you to stay complacent, which is what was happening to me, and we'll get into that. Know that we are adaptable beings. We are wired and created to be able to pivot, to be able to withstand change, to be able to evolve and continue to grow without staying down on the ground. And that's something that I have seen through my own embodiment over these last few months. My life completely changed and I adapted. My career and my business adapted. My friendships and relationships adapted. My environment at home adapted. My hobbies adapted. Everything shifted with me. And when you are on the verge of heartbreak or in those early stages of heartbreak, it feels like you will never find yourself again. It feels like everything is completely different and will never be the same. And guess what? It won't be the same. And I think that's the best part. You get to keep the parts of yourself that you love and that serve you, the parts of your life that add value, and you get a clean slate to wipe everything else clean. You are essentially taking a big piece of paper and you get to write down, what do I want my life to look like now? And again, when you're in it, that feels really freaking scary. That doesn't seem very fun. But I can guarantee you, when you get the opportunity to create the life that you actually want to live and your mind, body, and soul adapt to that life, you get to experience a new reality that is so much more beautiful than anything you could have imagined. I've also been doing a lot of reflecting on the relationship itself as part of my healing and just noticing how I showed up in the relationship, how my ex showed up in the relationship. And I think what I have been most mind blown by, frankly, is how bad things were. Because yes, you look at a relationship and there's good, right? You wouldn't be with this person if there wasn't good things that you love about them, that you enjoy. That's just how life goes. We stay with people that make us feel good. But when I think of what was happening in the relationship, and I'm able to see it now with so much more clarity than I was able to see when I was in it, especially because I started dating this person when I was only 20. I was still in college. I was a baby. Things were so much worse than I knew. And I keep coming back to that because I have to give myself a lot of grace. I have to give myself permission to forgive 25-year-old Kayla, 27-year-old Kayla, and now 29-year-old Kayla for the things that she was tolerating, the things that she was putting up with, simply because she wanted to feel validated and feel loved and feel in partnership, and also because she wanted, in a way, to control the way that her life looked. We are taught that relationships come with sacrifice and compromise, and it is what it is. Figure it out. You're going to have to do that. And that's true. But I think often as women, the lines get a little bit hazy between compromise and self betrayal, sacrifice and self abandonment. It's difficult to differentiate those things when you're with someone that is constantly taking advantage of your kindness, taking advantage of your forgiveness, and taking advantage of the fact that you've stood by their side for so long. In a relationship, you compromise on things like, I want Chipotle, he wants In-N-Out, which one do we get? Or I have plans this weekend, but he wants to go to this family event. I'm going to go for a little bit, then see my friends after. That's compromise. Compromise is not constantly forgiving when the person is not changing their behavior after promising time and time again that they will. Compromising is not settling with not getting your needs met. Compromising is not being the person in the relationship that's constantly saving the day. Even in the moment when I was ending my relationship and canceling my wedding, my ex said to me, "We can get through this. We can get through anything. We always have." And that statement caught me so off guard in the moment because he wasn't wrong. We had always gotten through everything. But guess why? The reason that we were able to overcome every challenge that was presented to us was because I was willing to sacrifice and self abandon in order to keep the peace. He was never the one that had to change what his needs were. He was never the one that had to lower his expectations or go through having a dysregulated nervous system to constantly forgive and forgive and forgive behavior that was emotionally harmful. It was always me. Self-abandonment happens when we put aside our own needs to accommodate or appease someone else. And that's what I was doing for so long. And so when he said that to me, it made it clear that he was a bit delusional, honestly, in thinking that we could get through anything because he didn't even recognize the fact that I was the one constantly having to overcome a dysregulated nervous system in order to keep the peace and keep a sense of control in the relationship. It was never him. He may have had to compromise what he wanted for dinner or what movie we watched or what the weekend plans were, but he never had to compromise to the extent and the emotional turmoil that I did in the relationship. And that has become abundantly clear to me. It was clear to me in that moment, and it is even more clear to me now. There was even a time last November, so November of 2024. As you know, I recently graduated from IIN with my holistic health and wellness coaching certification. And around Thanksgiving last year, I was doing some course curriculum at my parents' house in California, and I watched a video lecture all about fear. The facilitator actually had us write out 3 to 5 difficult decisions that we knew we had to make in order to essentially become the person we needed to be. There's always going to be fear stopping you from doing something that is going to change the trajectory of your life. And in that moment, in that lecture, I wrote down, I still have it in my school notebook, exit my relationship. I knew for a long time. But the fear of going through heartbreak, the fear of letting people down, letting him down, letting my family down. We were already knee deep in planning a wedding, letting down the image and the perception that we had as a couple. That was all too scary for me. I remember slamming my notebook shut so hard and just thinking, nope, I can't do that. I can't do that. And in that moment, that was self-abandonment because I knew, my intuition knew. But I still was willing to put myself aside in order to please everyone else around me. And guess what? I wasn't even pleasing everyone because the people in my life who care the most about me and love me want me to be happy. They don't want me to be complacent. They want me to thrive. And I was not in an environment where I could thrive. And that is abundantly clear to me now on the other side. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I know a lot of people have noticed, but your girl is glowing. I look different. I feel different. I laugh different. I exist differently in a different energy than I existed in that relationship. And it shows up physically for me. I went through a 2-year battle with really bad acne, really bad. I was doing chemical peels. I was getting expensive treatments. I was on antibiotics. I was taking retinol. I did everything. Cut out dairy, cut out gluten, cut out everything that brings you joy. I was doing all of it. And guess what? Since exiting this relationship, I don't even break out anymore. Maybe once or twice before my period. My skin is clear. I have had no inflammation in my face. And my face, I have pictures, y'all, was so inflamed. And it never made sense because I eat well, my hormones are in check, my gut was in check. I worked with my naturopath to make sure we checked all the boxes, and it just wouldn't go away. It was a sign that I was in the wrong place in my life. I was in a relationship that was causing me so much dysregulation that my body was throwing out signals for me to leave. One of them being acne. Another change I've experienced is less painful periods. I was going through it with my periods. So much so that I got diagnosed about a year ago with PMDD, which is essentially a extreme form of PMS that causes severe depression, severe anxiety right before your period. Like not just cute little, oh, PMS mood swings, bad, depressive thoughts, depressive episodes, intrusive thoughts, really severe what I was dealing with for a long time. Guess whose PMS is easy peasy now? Guess whose cramps have tremendously decreased? Guess who has a much easier period now than I did for the last 3 years? Nervous system dysregulation and stress show up in your body physically. And I didn't know it. Again, I was willing to try every remedy. I go to acupuncture, I get massages, lymphatic drainage, changing my diet, I make my teas. I was doing all of that. And I still do all of that. But it wasn't working because the root cause of what I was experiencing was such severe stress leading to inflammation. I've also lost weight. You know, I'm not one to talk about weight loss on this podcast. That is not necessarily my arena or my area of coaching or expertise. But I think it's important to mention here, I did weigh myself, and I never do this, but I weighed myself a few weeks ago, and I was 12 pounds lighter than I was 6 months ago. And of course, we all go through the heartbreak diet. We know that very well when you go through a breakup and it's really hard to eat and you lose your appetite. And so, sure, that could be part of it. But 6 months later, I'm eating great. I'm feeling great. My body feels better. I'm not bloated like I was. I look at pictures of myself last year and I just looked a little bit puffy. Not noticeably to anyone else, but just a little bit puffy. Right now, I feel the best in my physical body at almost 30 than I have probably my entire 20s, like since college. And it's because my body is just working for me now. All of my systems are working better and happier. I have less inflammation, less pain, more energy, more focus. Everything has fallen into place. And I wasn't expecting any of this to happen. Again, when you are in it, you do not know how in it you are. And so for anyone who's going through it right now, I'm not going to sell you the dream of, oh, your skin's going to clear up and you're going to lose weight and you're going to not have period pain, blah, blah, blah. That's just my story. But your nervous system knows, your body knows. When they say the body keeps score, they are not lying. And I have learned that in the last 6 months. There are so many things happening internally as a result of our external environment. And it's something that I wish I recognized sooner. And I did in small ways. Like I've said before, I would get this chest pain when we would argue. That was just like a signal pushing me to leave. I was really irritable. Again, the PMDD, just really not myself. And now I recently told my therapist this, and I've been telling my friends this, is I feel like anyone that meets me today is getting the real me. And I think that is the most beautiful result of healing. Finding myself again, learning how to love myself again, and learning how to pour back into me and find that inner child joy and feminine state that I was not able to exist in for so long. And it's honestly been so fun just to witness my confidence increase to this extent. I feel like a baddie, y'all. I feel so beautiful. I feel so desired. And it's because I desire myself. It's because I like what I see when I look in the mirror. And I know deep down with so much truth that anyone is so lucky to have me in their life and to have my energy in their presence, period. I am confident in that. And it has given me a completely different outlook on dating, on relationships, on my friendships, on work and business, on everything, because I genuinely have this sense of confidence that I didn't have before. I've always been a pretty confident girl, but this is different. And it's because I am so sure of myself. I am so in love with the woman that I have become. I am so proud of myself for how I have handled the last 6 months, for how I handled the most traumatic thing that I've ever had to go through. I'm so proud of myself. And when you're able to show up for yourself to this extent in this way, confidence is built, because confidence is built when shit hits the fan. When things get hard and you show up for yourself anyways. I took this immense healing journey and I turned it into not only a self-love journey, but a journey where I get to bring you all with me. A journey where I get to teach and share from the middle and use this podcast, this platform, to open my heart to you in hopes that I reach the women that are going through something similar, in hopes that my voice touches the people that need to be uplifted, that need to be reminded that it does get better and that you can make it through. And so through all of this, through the bullshit, through the trauma, I am so confident in the direction that my life is going. I feel like I am exactly where I am meant to be, and my purpose is more clear than it's ever been. I am ready, you guys. I am showing up today ready to take the world by storm, ready to have my voice heard, ready to grow this podcast, ready to get back into coaching and grow my business. One other thing that I'll mention is now that I am 6 months in and I'm feeling like myself and I'm really confident in business, my 9 to 5 has been posing a challenge for me, because my 9 to 5 is taking up a lot of time that I would love to be spending on my own business and building my brand, because that's how confident I am in her becoming and in my own coaching business. That's how confident I am that this is going to take off. It's just a matter of time. And so having those 40 hours a week blocked off right now, there's some friction with my nervous system because my soul knows what I'm capable of. We've gone through this journey, and yes, we're still healing, but now I feel like I'm blooming. Now I feel like I'm ready to come out and really show the world what Kayla Countryman can do. And there's so much excitement and there's so much joy in that. And I am excited to share it with you, as always, along the way. So that's really my update. I'm doing well. I'm feeling good. I feel like I am exactly where I'm meant to be right now. And I am so sure of what I bring to the table. I know that I will find someone that matches me emotionally and spiritually and mentally. I know that there is a life out there that is waiting for me, filled with abundance and joy and everything that I could ever desire. And I also know that right now I'm creating a life that I love, so that when it is time for partnership again, when it is time for me to embark on that chapter, it's from a place of a life that I already love and it's adding value. It's not fixing my life. It's not becoming my whole life. It's just a added bonus to the woman that I am, to the life that I've already learned to fall so deeply in love with. And that's where I'm coming from 6 months later. If you're listening to this and you have recently gone through a breakup, or maybe you're in a relationship that isn't serving you, maybe today's episode, speaking about self-abandonment and self-betrayal, is really resonating with you and you know exactly what you need to do, I want to tell you that you are one decision away from living the life that you were meant to live all along. So often it is the scary thing, the scary choice and decision that we have to make that is going to open the door for us to step into the life that was actually meant for us. We know deep down when something is for us and when something is not. It is just a matter of whether or not we choose to listen to that nudge, to that intuitive signal that something is off. So if that's you right now, first of all, I send you the most love because it's not easy. But I also want you to feel empowered in stepping into the life that you truly desire. You get to create your own reality. And one of my favorite quotes, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. And that can be a hard pill to swallow. You do not need to settle. You do not need to stay small. You do not need to try to control every situation around you to keep the peace while you are abandoning your own truest desires. And if you are in the mud with heartbreak right now, it gets better. It gets so much better. And I know people say time heals all. My cousin once posted a quote. I don't know who this quote is from, but time doesn't heal all. How you spend it does. And I truly believe it's how I spent my time over these last 6 months that helped me heal. Traveling, taking care of my body, really going inward and taking care of my mind and doing the work, daily meditations, going to therapy, discovering my own shadows and my own shortcomings, and looking myself in the mirror and acknowledging the soul and the woman that I am. That's what helped me heal because I spent my time doing things that really filled my cup. So if you are in it and right now it feels hard to eat a meal or get up off the couch, that's okay. Stay there. You will know when it's time to get up. You will know when it's time to start really putting in the effort to feel better, but it's coming. And I want you to know that you're not alone. That's what this podcast is for. Way too often, in my opinion, human beings go through things alone and they think that no one else is struggling with it. I will tell you, the shit that I went through, I haven't heard anyone that's ever been through that kind of shit. I will tell you that straight up. And I'm here on the other side of it still telling you it gets better. It absolutely gets better. And you are not alone. You have community, you have support, you have resources. I am one of those resources. And the life that you dream about, that life that you know is possible for you, it's coming. It's already on its way to you, but you have to meet it there. You have to make the scary decision. You have to have the difficult conversation. You have to take care of yourself in a way so that when that life shows up for you, when that life opens its doors to you, you are prepared to walk in. So that's all I have for you today. Truly just a heart-to-heart episode. No fancy outline, just you and me right here. And it means the world that you're listening and that you continue to show up for this show. Again, if it was your first time being here, stay around. We have lots of conversations that are just good for the soul, that will help you on your own journey of becoming and support you wherever you are in this trajectory of life. With this episode, it would mean the world if you send this to someone that is recently going through a breakup or is in the mud right now and needs a little bit of a pep talk, needs to know that it does get better. And last but not least, I am opening up my doors for one-on-one wellness coaching. My new package is a mind, body, and soul experience for women that are ready to close that gap between who you are today and who you desire to be. We'll get into the mind by working through your thoughts and helping you understand how your thoughts create your reality. We'll get into your body and help you get in tune with the flow of your body through cycle syncing. And we'll get into your soul by helping you see what you were really sent here to do. Whether that is building a brand, starting a business, evolving a current business that you have, or just learning to understand your needs and your desires better and live a life that feels fuller. So if this sounds like something that you would benefit from, shoot me a DM, email me, find me anywhere that you follow me, and I will love to welcome you into my coaching program. All right, my loves, I will see you on the next episode. And until then, be well.